Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Dare2Compete Awards 2022 Kingdom. The throne is ripe for the taking, and we are ready to hand it off to the rightful rulers. But before the coronation, we would like to thank the humble court of industry stalwarts and enterprising students who share our mission to live by the competitive spirit. And in the roster of thanking people who have made this day possible, we have the dynamic, the every possible praiseworthy Ankit Agarwal, the GOAT. On paper, he has ticked every box on the timeline of an engineer, but in reality, his is a story worthy of history books. An MBA from IMT Ghaziabad, a leadership program at Harvard Business School on 100% scholarship, and illustrious stints with Teach for India, Deloitte, and Sapient. Ankit has been there and done that. Now, can I let you in on a secret? For him, every day is day one. And that's what makes us who we are and has led us to where we are today. Now, the D2C team can go on for days about him, and we still wouldn't have done justice to introducing him. So, moving on, may we have Mr. Ankit Agarwal, founder and CEO of Dare2Compete, on stage to take things forward.
Wow. Thank you, Shishti, for the rather illustrious introduction. Trust me, this is the most beautiful one I've heard till date. Hello, everyone. What a splendid gathering we have today. I'm grateful to each and every one of you for joining us today. Many of you have been associated with us for quite some time now and know about us in and out. But for a very few uninitiated, I would like to iterate what we do. Dare2Compete is a community engagement platform for learning, interacting, and hiring through gamification. Now, each of these words is crucial for the ecosystem we function in. Let's look at all these words, and I'll try to explain all of them together. Interacting. One can list their hackathons, quizzes, simulation games, workshops, and scholarships on Dare2Compete and interact with their target audience, which is students and young professionals across the globe. Hiring. Companies can list job opportunities, internships, hiring challenges on the platform to connect with students, assess them, interview them, and finally hire them. And while students participate in competitions for interacting and hiring, they get to learn new skills, apply them, and get rewarded with job opportunities or cash prizes. Now, I'll tell you why we say it learning. Only because you may or may not excel in your first opportunity. But once you start participating in multiple opportunities, one day you will see the light of the tunnel and you will excel. And all of this whole ecosystem is connected with our core, which is gamification. All the opportunities such as quizzes, hackathons, simulation games are gamified, and participants also get badges, certificate, points based on key activities they perform on Dare2Compete. Each of these carefully curated aspects has enabled us to maintain and even gain momentum. It has been our endeavor to build and cherish a robust ecosystem that is progressive. With that, let me come to Dare2Compete Awards. Dare2Compete Awards have been celebrating the true spirit of competitiveness harnessed by students, colleges, and industry leaders since 2018. This year, I'm happy to tell you we have seen immense growth. We now have 28,500 nominations, which is 1.2x of what we did last year. We have a whopping 114,000 votes, 2.2x of last year. And finally, the survey responses that we have gathered, it's 12,871 to be precise, which is almost 2x of what we did last year. We have witnessed a growth of 2x in each one of these, making it the biggest season of Dare2Compete Awards till date. And I tell this as the most credible and authentic only because of these sheer numbers. Before I move ahead, let me take 2 minutes to quickly share some key milestones of Dare2Compete from last year. We have grown 2 to 3x in all the parameters, be it user engagements, competition listings, clients, revenue, and what all. We have added a whopping 1.7 million users in this academic year itself until Feb. We have done multiple diversity-centric campaigns with industry giants like Walmart Coders, Myntra Hacker Ramp, V4She, Flipkart, Girls Wanna Code, and many more. And cumulatively, we have been able to get 1,700 girls interview offers or directly job offers. We aren't just limited to big companies. Startups also started using us more and more. For example, JustPay launched 3 hiring challenges in 1 year itself, receiving a participation from over 2.5 lakh students, which made them roll out 3,200 plus interview offers only through the first 2 challenges, because the third one is currently live. We also tried our hands on innovation challenges to crowdsource ideas, and they were launched from the likes of Asian Paints and Hero MotoCorp, among others. And the success of these campaigns, as my team tells me, lies in the fact that Hero is selling 1 lakh bikes per month from the winning design from these innovation challenges. Yes, you heard it right. It is 1 lakh per month, which is mammoth by any counts. Hiring challenges weren't only launched for students, but also for working professionals from the likes of startups, let's say Innovator or Hero MotoCorp, which is big, right? And both of them, or all the hiring challenges, what we have done is we have enabled them to fulfill all their hiring needs from just one single challenge. A total of 6,000 PPIs and job offers were rolled out only from mere 50 plus hiring challenges on Dare2Compete itself. We tweaked our opportunities registration form to make it gender inclusive. Now, in any of the challenge, we asked not only male and female, but also transgender, non-binary, etc., and even an option to either specify or select prefer not to say. We also launched D2C coins, Dare2Compete's currency through which users can redeem coupons from big brands. All right. I mean, after saying these, the only word I can say for the whole Dare2Compete team is wow. So much happened in last 1 year. Our thought partnership has made this ecosystem grow leaps and bounds. So first of all, I want to thank each one of you who has joined today and all the stakeholders of this ecosystem, which is students, recruiters, and educational institutes. And now let me take pleasure to invite Abbas Master, Associate Director with CRISIL. Abbas has more than a decade's worth of experience under his belt. Hi Abbas.
Pleasure.
So good to have you and CRISIL as part of Dare2Compete Awards.
Pleasure is all mine, Ankit. Being the knowledge partner for Dare2Compete Awards and the D2C Employer Branding Report this year as well has been an absolute delight for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abbas. Before we move on to the intricacies of Dare2Compete Awards, why don't you tell us how CRISIL has sailed the past year? What has been cooking at CRISIL?
Sure, Ankit. CRISIL is a global innovative analytical company. We are the foremost provider of ratings, data research, and solutions. And if we talk about education domain, we went a big way into this sector, be it in terms of gradings, in terms of grading SMEs in education institutes, or be it B-School program specific grading, or be it audits, the placement audit across sector. So what our aim is? Our aim is to bring in more transparency, authenticity, credibility, and objective benchmarking into this sector. If I say over last year has been really interesting, we have done multiple assignments in terms of grading and audits in this particular sector. Obviously, the kind of rating system and process we have recognized globally, and the stringent standards are industry defining. Over to you, Ankit.
The only word I have is that we are glad to have you as a partner, and this is great. A lot of amazing stuff. Really excited to have CRISIL as one of the partners.
Thank you, Ankit. I think it's your turn now. I'm sure everyone would like to know how the entire process, entire methodology was made authentic for the entire Dare to Compete Awards 2022. Over to you, Ankit.
Sure, Abbas. Yes, I was about to come to that. So, as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. Award is one of our biggest initiative, and we take it upon ourselves to make it transparent and the most authentic in the best way possible. We have devised the scoring system that is in line with global standards, which all these bigger companies stand for. We assign a tier to each competition, basis the number of competitions, eligible colleges, shortlisting rounds, and multiple other parameters. Once this is in place, we open the platform for nominations, where students nominate themselves for different competitions that they've excelled. Once the nomination gets approved by our team, they go through each and every nomination, they validate everything, and then students get stars according to the tier of that competition. Students stars also contribute to their college rankings. This is one part. The second part would be voting. Here, students vote for their favorite competitions and college festivals, which are then ranked accordingly. And the last part in this Dare to Compete Awards is D2C Campus Employer Branding Survey. We make a thorough questionnaire consisting of MCQs and subjective questions where B schools and engineering students have to type out their desirable employers. Now, let me just emphasize this point. They have to type it out. This ensures that they are not able to think through these questions with a prompt from our side in terms of choices. The strong insights that we get from this help us bridge the gap between students and the dream companies. D2C Campus Employer Branding Report covers all the findings of the survey. Finally, Abbas, it's up to you. Have we passed the test? Is it authentic?
I will say, Ankit, yeah, obviously, and with flying colors, as always. And I will say this association has been really extension of our natural fabric. We have been associated with you over the years. It's glad to be there, Ankit.
Thank you so much, Abbas. Once again, thank you so much for the association and for being with us today. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Ankit, for having me, and have a nice day, everyone. Bye for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks.
All right. Now it's time to head into the highlight of the day, the panel discussion that we've been waiting for. Why do I call it the highlight of the day? Let me reveal the topic and you'll get the answer. Is hiring via competitions and hackathons the future? The discussion will be paramount for recruiters to plan their future campus engagements and for students to bag a job offer in their dream companies. On the panel today, we have industry veterans who have aced their recruitment game through a number of campus engagements. So please join me in welcoming our first panelist, Maliga R, Senior Director, Human Resources at Flipkart. Next in line, we have Ganga Salimat, Director, Talent Acquisition, Walmart Global Tech India. Then we have Suman Yadav, Director, Talent Acquisition, APAC, Amazon. We have Roshni Vadhwa, Director, Human Resources, L'Oreal. We have Sonal Jan, India Enterprise HR Head, Johnson & Johnson. And finally, we have Ram Bhavaraju, Head of Software and Web Technologies, Ather Energy. Thank you, everyone, for making it to the panel. My asks from all of you will be simple. I intend to do as many questions as possible, so my only ask from all of you will be to be as short and precise as possible while answering so that we cover as many questions as possible. Moving on. So the first segment for the gamified engagements are changing the hiring game for many. Though the objectives are very, very different, and I'm sure this is very, very different from each one of you. For some, it is enhancing employer brand. For some, it is hiring or both. But at the end of the day, there are some PPIs and PPOs being rolled out. Let us dive into your prospective employer branding and hiring engagements one by one. My first question is to you, Ram. You went to campuses and hired a few, naturally through Dare2Compete hiring platform. but were not able to complete the hiring numbers. Then you launched Aether's hiring challenge, Crazathon, which worked like magic, gave you the rest of the hiring numbers. In your opinion, what problem did it solve for you? And moving forward, what would be your approach?
Hey, thanks a lot, Ankit. And it's been wonderful hearing about your journey and also what Dare2Compete has done. Yeah, we started with on-campus, keeping on-campus as our primary objective to get people out from the campus and hire them directly. But as you put out, it was not that it did not come out with flying colors. Obviously, we had to think about where did we go wrong? Is it like our own approach, or did we use the platform correctly? So we started deep diving into what would the platform help us out with, and that's where we had back and forth conversations with your team to get to understand that you have a pool of people who are interested, might not be in those campuses, but overall there's a huge set of people, lots of people who are naturally, organically SEO oriented, coming onto your platform and figuring it out if there are any open off-campus jobs or something. That's where we have done the Crazathon, and we had like a stupendous response. In fact, I was surprised that heading this off here and going into off-campus, I never thought so many people would actually go and register for it, do the exams. So it was at least 25,000 people, and then it came out about 5,000 people for us to narrow it down, and finally we came up with very good numbers to roll it out. So it was definitely a successful thing. That's where the platform is more evolved. As a software head, I always look at the platforms which have a natural evolution and also have some technology assigned to it. So that's where your organic traffic is what we have like took into our considerations.
Thank you so much, Ram. Let me just tell you, in terms of what went wrong, I think that's not company specific. This year, and this will be true for all the panelists and all the companies who are hiring, the campus placements or the selective placements have been very, very challenging because of the numerous companies going to select from a limited pool. I think that's where Crazathon helped. Very interesting. Thank you, Ganga. Thank you, Ram. Ganga, coming to you. Walmart coders has been a rage. For me, there is no other word to describe it. In the first season itself, after getting 51,000 girl coders to apply for a single challenge, everyone, including you, me, and our team, were like, seriously, are there 51,000 girls out there who are even coding? Because that was the surprising element, right? 51,000. And eventually you ended up offering 165 girls full-time positions and internships. Please describe your experience of coders and how it changed game internally for the HR team, and more importantly, improved your diversity numbers internally.
Sure. So Coders has been our flagship hiring program, and it has helped us find some absolutely fantastic talent into Walmart, right? And like you said, we are truly humbled with the kind of response that we saw in our first event, and even our second event we just concluded, and we're in the process of the interview process and all that, right? We've seen some amazing results, right? And that gives a significant credibility to the kind of brand that we've been able to establish, and not just branding, but the end results, like you said, 165, that beat our own aggressive estimates that we had internally. So that has helped find some great talent, and these programs have now become an integral part of our hiring strategy.
Yeah, really insightful. I hope they always be integral part of your strategy and maybe multiply these engagements so Dare2Compete also benefit. Thank you so much, Ganga. Next up, Maliga. Again, I like to say that Flipkart is one of the few companies overall, and possibly on Dare2Compete, that does multiple engagements. One for B schools, one for E schools, one for only girls, one for data science enthusiasts, one for possibly other grads or so, right? While your main objective is building your employer brand, what drives you to do so many engagements targeted towards specific audiences?
Thanks, Ankit, and thanks for acknowledging the diversity of initiatives that is out there as well. I think it's a lot of effort, a lot of brainstorming by a small but extremely audacious team that is representative of who Flipkart is. I think 2 or 3 things as we look at it, right? First of all, we believe very humbly that the best talent lies everywhere, It's not about merit. It's not just about pedigree. And to be able to provide the right platform, to be able to provide the right opportunity to uplift the entire student ecosystem across the country is the actual initial view with which we said we must move forward. I think our brand is strong, so we will get the talent that we need. But how do we ensure that we provide access to the best opportunities? How do we make sure that we provide awareness of the kind of problem statements that we're facing at Flipkart? And ultimately, how do we ensure that we bring in the right talent, not just for us, but for them who know that this is the kind of place that they want to invest their careers in, not the next 1 year and the next paycheck in. So that's the way we think about it.
So thank you so much. I hope Flipkart keeps bringing in new challenges for new audiences.
We will.
Before moving ahead to Suman, just a request from all the panelists and everybody who has joined in. Just keep your cameras on, because if the camera gets switched off, there is some sort of alignment gap that happens, and then but still the discussion will go on. It's just that our team will take another 20-30 seconds to then align. Okay, coming to you, Suman. Amazon Ace has been really well received and has been scaling higher in our D2C prestigious competitions, and so is your employer brand among the dream employers. I don't want to dive more into it because your ranks will be revealed later. But how should companies go about planning competitions and engagements? What should be the central agenda? I mean, hiring, employer branding, both, or maybe if there is some other magic or something else. What do you suggest?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Ankit. I think it's a combination of factors. The purpose with which ACE was launched was really to give the student community a taste of Amazon. So what we have as part of Amazon is a real case study that we give to the students, and they work through that case study over a period of time, and then they solve the case. So I think it's very important for students also to be able to evaluate the company as much as we evaluate the students. I think it's important for us to really take that position where I would do a +1 to what Malika said, that we really want to select the best students irrespective of what the channel is, what the source is, and how do we really evaluate fitment with respect to the company. And skills and leadership skills, functional skills and leadership skills, both are equally important, not what your CGPA score is, not which college you come from. So I think ACE is going to continue to scale, and we will continue to use that as a lever to make sure that students also get to evaluate us as much as we evaluate them.
Awesome. Thank you so much. No wonder how Amazon is acing it. Moving on to the next panelist, Roshni. L'Oreal Sustainability Challenge as well as Brandstorm are open to all students irrespective of their campus, and all the good performers stand a chance to win job with L'Oreal. However, as a recruiter, you only visit premier institutes of the country for campus placements. What differences do you see while you brand and hire through these competitions versus when you actually go and hire through campuses directly? Roshni, you may have to unmute yourself.
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ankit, for the question. I think, one, of course, I want to break this paradigm of saying that we only go to Premier Institute. There have been occasions where we are also started to visit some of the e-schools as well. First of all, our campus strategy is really about bringing the right talent, in the form of management trainees, who we really go out and invest a lot because we really believe that they are our future leaders in the organization. Today, we do look at internship program as one of the many source of hiring that we have, which actually gets converted into management trainees. But it's very important that we need to think that one size fits one. So we need to absolutely open up multiple opportunities to engage with students at multiple campuses to be able to bring the best on front, right? So over the years, as you rightly said, our gamification competition, which is the Brandstorm, which is very focused on the business case, and the sustainability challenge, which is very focused on how can we make our business more green, have grown not only in their ambition, but also in their attractiveness on the campuses. So today's sustainability challenge is even open to e-schools, for example, right? And both these engagement properties have led to bringing a very strong feeder in the form of the students who we really attract as the management trainees today. So for us on campus to attract, identify, hire future talent, irrespective of their campuses or specialization, we truly believe in diversity and inclusion, which is very much at the heart of L'Oréal. And it's just about using all our levers to make sure that we have future leaders absolutely getting integrated into the organization.
Thank you so much, Roshni. In fact, I think you are one of the few companies. Brandstorm, for example, has been there for a couple of decades now. I think you are the true pioneers of these campus engagements or innovation challenges, whatever you would want to call it. So thank you so much for crafting these branding activities indeed.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Sonal, the next question is for you. You've seen how HUL does line. They keep it open for all. While how J&J does Quest is very, very targeted. Since you've been to both the organizations and probably would have seen execution of both the challenges, how do you think both methods work? For different companies, how should they figure out a better way of doing things for their HR strategies when it comes to engaging in hiring via competitions or otherwise?
Yeah, first of all, Ankit, I also want to say wow, because the numbers that you presented were really mind-blowing. I think that's the impact you and your team are creating. And I'm so humbled to be part of this panel with some of the best-in-class sort of organizations and leaders to make a change. So thank you so much for having me here. When you asked this question, suddenly I realized there used to be a question in an interview, what are your plans 5 years down the line? And people would say, 5 years? Oh, let me plan for the next 2 years. So it's been a while. It's been 5 years that I worked with Unilevers, and I'm sure life has moved significantly. So I will share what we do at J&J specifically. So we envision Quest to create highly deep engagement in the organization. And I'll say, what does deep engagement mean, right? So the Quest program runs over 6 to 7 months. It's almost like a mini internship, and you have deep engagement by the mentors, almost giving a taste and a flavor of what the organization is. And in that capacity, they have opportunity to work on live projects, having the data of the organization, while the external research is an important parameter. And that's where our strategy is led to what kind of program that we have designed from a Quest perspective. And hence, we have also kept it very focused in terms of the engagement and then outcome and then hiring strategy at Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, thank you, Sonal. Just a follow-up question. Interestingly, you brought in terms of it's sort of a internship, right? Nowadays, many companies, specifically in B schools and E schools, I think we are seeing the same trend. They would want to hire interns and convert them through PPOs to get to their final hiring numbers, right? And that's working for pretty much majority of the companies that are going in, and that's why you always see larger hiring numbers in internships when they go for summer interns, and possibly lesser for the final placements. And between this, the whole year gets passed in terms of the whole strategy of the company, COVID, no COVID, everything, right? In your personal opinion, because you've seen multiple organizations or so, this whole strategy of hiring more interns, what are the best things that companies can do to ensure this goes forward? And for students as well, they get a chance to sort of engage with a company before the final offer to make up their mind that whether this industry, company, or job profile is best suited for them or not.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting question, Ankit, because in the entire hiring process, candidates are at the center. And they're the ones who are actually choosing more than the organization is choosing the candidates, right? So I think hence it's very important to almost embrace in terms of what are you getting into, whether it's an organization to the candidate or the candidate to the organization. An internship actually opens up your domain of curiosity, right? It almost opens up your perspective of the breadth of the organization. For example, we are healthcare. organization. So we have different verticals, which is farm, medical devices, and consumer health. And hence, sometimes an engagement which is shorter only leads for them to understand one part of the organization. And we have realized the more and more we expand it, they're able to understand Johnson & Johnson as a more broad organization, which again gives that opportunity to say, do I want to be a part of this? Because you're not part of this only for today, but you're part of this for multi-year going forward, and not just a country, but it could be a region or it could be a world, right? So I think the internships, in my perspective, still remains one of the coveted, sorted methodologies, because it just gives that experience of experiencing the organization.
Sure. Thanks, Sonal. Now let me start by asking you some common questions. I'm sure all the audiences are here to basically get a grasp on, right? So the first one is on tech hiring, and I'll possibly go to you, Ganga, for this. Tech hiring is at an all-time high. Last year, we saw many companies going in for a different approach. Rather than hiring from selected places or a limited pool of candidates, they opened it up for all students pan-India and selected the best out of them. Both approaches have their pros and cons. So the question is, which approach do you follow and why? And what parameters are driving this change across the industry?
Sure. So speaking of the tech industry in general, right, it's probably seeing its best times and its difficult times at the same time. Best times in the context of the opportunities that are available to them, and the difficult times in terms of the demand supply situation with the talent, right? Now, specifically referring to university talent, our approach has been to get the best of both worlds. We have very strong and deep engagements with many universities, and our campus hiring has been widely successful. We've seen some incredible talent come through our internships and our on-campus offers that we make. Nevertheless, the off-campus approach has helped us access top talent irrespective of where they are, right? Democratizing the access of jobs to these candidates and increasing our reach to this talent pool, which normally we wouldn't have access to. And we are extremely happy with the kind of results that we have seen so far. And from what's driving this change, the dynamic nature of the business demand, the uncertainties in the external environment means that business demand cannot be predicted so much in advance, which a campus plan can be put in place. That's leading to diversification of our sourcing channels. And the talent acquisition teams are responding to this business demand. We are getting more agile. And these are the catalysts which are driving this change, right? And what adds a lot of confidence to the approach is the quality of talent. I think we've simply been blown away by the quality of talent that we've been able to access with this approach. And that's where a balanced approach of going on campus and driving hiring through competitive strategies have helped us.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Ganga. Coming to you, Ram, same question.
Yeah, I mean, tech hiring had been very tough for the last 2 years, if not 1 year, right? So it's been very tough. It's like you pointed out one significant thing, that saying that the talent pool had been exhausted when you're doing probably a targeted college or targeted segment of people. And that's where I see tech hiring had lots of challenges, right? So one is that even though our talent acquisition team, our university relationship is up to date in terms of getting to the people and also to hire them at the best of their capabilities. Probably what I've seen, the significant shift in the last 5 years or so, but the last 2 years have been more significant in that sense in tech arena, is that even like candidates who are coming out of college or in their final year are choosing the employers, and they're also choosing places. And that had been the biggest hurdle, and nobody has really dig deep into it. I've been in panels, and I've been meeting the rest of the folks, my peers in different companies, all the CTOs, right? And this is one of the significant challenge what all tech, irrespective of what company you are, whether you're tech or non-tech company, we have to overcome this hurdle, and this probably the biggest reason for not able to hire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether I should be saying this or not, but bluntly, what's happening even with us, right? So we go out and try and give an offer to one candidate. That person starts the notice period. They get 2 offers during the notice period itself.
Yeah.
In the same city. The package goes higher. Then they
or
come
lower
back,
also, they're okay with lower, by the way. That's the biggest thing they're doing.
In our case, I think the packages are zooming. I mean, very frankly, I don't know whether this is true, and possibly I'll go to Maliga next. Sure. But for us, what's happening is, and this we have seen, they get, let's say, X package. They were at X. They get a job at 1.5x. They try for 2x. They get 2x, and finally they settle at 2.5x. That's how the market is changing.
And the preferred city is the biggest. Off lately, at least last 2 years, I have enough statistics to say, at least from Aether, at least from the peers I've been talking to, enough and more saying that the preference had been the city first, working model, and package obviously sits in between both things.
Got it. Maliga, coming to you next. Same question.
No, I was smiling as you and Ram were dialoguing on this, Ankit. I think this is by and large the most competitive talent market that I've experienced in my career. I think it's not just about hiring, it's about retaining, it's about, everything, all of our paradigms, all of our preconceived notions are thrown out of the window, right? We're trying new things every day. But in the context of such a heavy market environment, right? What do you do? I am a believer, and we at Flipkart are also in sync on that sometimes these are waves, right? These come and these go. What serves the loyalists and what serves you best for long-term careers is the purpose of the organization, where it is aligned to what the employee wants to achieve, right? So what are the people that we typically look for? We look for people who have a hunger to drive disproportionate impact, who have a hunger to make a difference and align to our vision of transforming commerce through technology across the 1.2, 1.3 billion that we are, right? So therefore, we look at a mixed channel strategy where we take goals across contests, internships, as well as hiring on campus. Not only does it ensure that we hire talent from around the entire country, it also ensures that we're hiring talent that is representative of our customer base as well, as we look at it overall, right? Because you can only serve the customers that you truly understand and represent. The second piece is it also allows us to uplift the academic ecosystem. Because when we invest in all of these, we are ensuring that the output that colleges have in terms of the intellect and the marketability of their students is far higher year on year. And that, to me, is the opportunity and the privilege that we have as a company, which we want to be able to leverage. At the end of the day, let me be honest, if somebody is going to leave us for a 50% hike, it's okay. If they're leaving us for a 150% hike, it's okay. You join us because you're part of the journey and the purpose that we're at.
And I also believe, Maliga, sometimes I think money to some extent becomes, let's say, your great motivator. Okay. Maybe some package, right? You may call it maybe 2x or 3x of what they're earning, right? Beyond that, I think it's that, your kick internally, right? Why are you working? For what are you working? Which company you're working? I think that basically hits the right notes.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So 4 things. Do you get an opportunity to learn, experiment, and grow? Do you get an opportunity to work with the best, with the smartest minds in the industry? Do you get the opportunity to leave a mark and solve problem statements that have been unsolved before, right? And finally, are you working with an organization that is going to put your needs first? Money over everything else becomes hygiene after that. So
exactly. Coming to you, Suman, being one of the most desirable employers, right, across categories, B schools or so, does the equation change for you, or it remains the same?
So we are in very interesting times, and I think India is very unique when I also compare it with other countries, right, where we have a challenge of very large supply but very poor quality, and that makes it extremely difficult for all of us to really hire the talent that we want for the skills that we need for the job. And it is a very expensive process to just shortlist the talent, right? If we just publish the roles that we have, we get like lakhs of applications, even from students across the country, right? But what becomes very, very challenging is that how do you really shortlist and select? And that's where I think the attraction strategy of looking at hackathons, looking at coding challenges, looking at assessing them for the skills they have through online assessments, I think those are going to get more evolved as we scale. because those also, I am sure very soon the students will be able to, so the tests that we have, right, I think very soon even those will be easy to crack. There'll be a coaching school for that, just like we have quota for getting into engineering. There will be a coaching institute to crack those tests as well. And I think it gets just harder and harder. You know, in India, we have innovation of different levels in education sector. So I think that's an ongoing challenge. And the talent needs for tech will continue to remain at least for some more time. I think the wave is only going up. I don't think it's going down anytime. There's no sign of it going down, at least in the near future. So we will have to continue to look at different ways of targeting the right talent, attracting the right talent, and then converting them. And internship remains huge because it just allows us more time to evaluate them on the job and then offer them full-time roles.
Okay, awesome. Now, my next question is to you, Roshni, and I'll sort of change gears. All recruiters are hiring in double or triple digits. What do you think the quality check happens better at which level, right? Whether the quality checks should be better at assessment level, which is lack of people going through the assessments, or it should be at the interview level. So let me put it this way, right? What would you rather do? Assess harder, interview leniently, or assess leniently, interview harder, or both harder?
If I just were to answer in one word, is absolutely both, right? Fundamentally, I always believe that selection process cannot be just one way, where companies are just coming and trying to pick the best student. I think the entire process should also be designed in such a way that students also get a good opportunity to interact with the interviewers, understand what this organization is, what are they looking for, and be able to give a very two-way sort of a decision making to this. So the better the selection process is, I think the more acceptability of also the students, to really understand what this organization is. What you don't want to do is to really compromise, on quality to meet just the quantity, right? So our assessment and our interviews are equally important for us to really make sure that we identify the best candidate who not just fits the bill to do the job today and tomorrow, but also demonstrates a very strong potential to be the future leader for L'Oreal in tomorrow's time, right? So the assessment on campuses are really designed in such a way that they help recruit, identify, deep dive into certain aspects of the candidate that we wouldn't be able to sort of uncover in the 30 minutes or 1 hour interview, and hence assessment becomes really very important. And then it's all about sort of meeting on a one-to-one basis where the panelists are also keenly observing the candidate, whether they'll be the right fit for the internship or the management training programs and so on. So for me, I think both are important, but more than just the process, it's, I think, the intent of entire process, which has to be really two-way, not just for the company, but also for the students to be able to evaluate what organization they are getting into.
All right. Thanks, Roshni. Sonal, same question to you. Is it different?
Yeah, Ankit, it's slightly different because for us, assessments are more at a leadership level. And we use technical assessments more where the pool size is fairly huge, right? So we still have the interview process. And in the interview process, more than technical assessment at any level, it's more about cultural fitment. And we match what are the drivers of the candidates, more than just the ranking of the person in the class in the multiple semesters. To say, for example, it's about J&J leadership imperatives. So there is, for example, a Connect leadership imperative, right? It's very important for somebody in J&J to succeed. It is a complex organization, but it's not a complex organization. And hence, it's very important to understand, is the driver of the person really about connecting with the larger organization and then simplifying for a solution and problem to solve? And that's where assessment through interviews become extremely important. Like Roshni said, it's a two-way process. Also for us to share how we operate and how we work. And that's where I'm going back to my previous question on internship. It becomes very important. Because it's not just one-time conversation, but it's multiple levels of engagement.
Got it. Thanks. Coming to your next, Malika, same question.
I think very similar to what others have said. See, I think you typically have a very large pool of candidates applying to you, right? So you do have to filter. And if we were to filter purely on the basis of pedigree or marks, I don't think that would necessarily be the right representation. So we use assessments as a method of filtering, not as a method of selection. But they assess foundationally, do they carry the fundamental skill sets that are required to do the job well? On top of that, the interview process is about, are you able to solve complex problems in real contexts? And do you carry the intrinsics that match the intrinsics that we value as a company? That's really the way we look at it. It's actually fairly simple. It's a very stress-free dialogue. And it also always ends with one question, right? Which is, what would you like us to do differently as Flipkart if you were a customer of us? And I can tell you that a lot of people walk away learning what we can do differently. And that panelist goes and makes differences in the way they implement things themselves.
Awesome. And also, I think the one change that we have observed, right? So, the feedback that we got from a couple of the users of Dare2Compete, right? One thing that these hiring challenges have also done is that they have sort of taken away the essence of a resume in the first shortlist, like everybody is saying, right? Plus, more importantly, I think students or the early professionals, whoever is applying, are actually more happy only because when they register, they can actually go through the assessment direct on, right? So there is sort of an instant feedback. They can't rely on, I mean, for you guys as well, right? Operationally, it's not really ideal for you to maybe go through 50,000, 10,000 resumes or so, shortlist them or so. So I think it's a filtering mechanism rather than a shortlisting mechanism.
Yeah.
Coming to you next, Suman, what are your thoughts on this? Anything different?
Yeah, I think, with this huge hiring demand, there is a lot of strain on interviewers and, at Amazon, we have bar raisers. So there's a whole lot of strain on their bandwidth. I think we need to get smarter in the way we evaluate and hire, and not just students, but, even lateral talent. And that's where I think technology has to play a bigger role. I think today our assessments are meeting some requirements. I don't think they are at a place where we can just depend on them. But I think that will be the future, where we interact. A candidate talks to an Alexa, and a candidate does an assessment, and we just do some verification and it's done. By the way, we have a process where so what we do is that when we assess, when the candidates take online assessment, the scores come in different bands, right? I think everyone would know it comes in yellow, green, red band. And for certain assessments where we have taken enough data and found that, if a candidate scores certain marks in assessment on certain parameters, then the probability of the candidate getting an inclined vote finally is very, very high. So in that situation, we have actually removed all the interviews. And the candidate does the assessment and just has a verification call, and the candidate is hired. I think we have to do more and more of that, because we have to really scale, and we have to see how we retain the bar and retain the quality of hire, but lean more and more on technology. And that's the future.
So when I've noted down this sort of feature or a platform for my tech team, very frankly, talking to Alexa, getting assessed automatically, and just a verification call. In case we go live with this feature in next 6 to 9 months, credit will go to you publicly. I'm telling you right now.
We will take that solution from you. I don't know if, whether we will be able to implement at that pace. 6 months is interesting. So all the best for that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's go to the last question, and I'll come to you, Ram, for this.
Sure.
Our employer branding survey shows that candidates participating in these challenges and competitions have up to 5x higher probability of getting a higher package. In fact, our analysis, so out of 12,000 students that filled our survey, students with INR 30 LPA right now, 87% of them aced more than 3 competitions. And trust me, I'm not talking about just maybe numbers in double and triple digits, right? I'm talking about in thousands, right? So this analysis means a lot. What do you think are the factors that are leading to this correlation? And if this is true, I mean, can something be done in that hiring funnel itself because of these challenges? So let's say if you're hiring for Aether, the candidate has participated in, let's say, all the other panelist competitions or so, would you give weightage to that particular person in the interview or the assessments?
I mean, to be honest with you, the assessment itself, whenever we curate the assessment, right, the kind of questions what we set up for that, the entire curation, that is probably the doorstep for anyone to get into the process. And obviously, the ones who have done multiple such things have that experience and also have gone through the grind. And if they've attended different employers and different ways of answering these questions at different segments, it gives us at least that visibility that the candidate is very interested in terms of going into this platform.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Ram. Ganga, coming to you with the same question.
Yeah, no, the simple answer to that is, there are high quality jobs with great companies that are on platform like yours, right? And this model with a hackathon or a competition based hiring brings the scale to the process which traditional recruiting teams will not have. And it makes both companies and talent pool mutually accessible. Platforms like this do that, and that inevitably leads to good compensations, right? So we get access to great talent, and talent which normally may not have access to the kind of roles that we have, are getting access to this, and that leads to higher compensation. And that probably is the correlation that I see in this.
Okay, thanks, Ganga. Sonal, coming to you next, same question.
Yeah, I personally believe in hard work and detail. There is no substitute of it. And hence, the whole project and some of this gives an opportunity to roll up your sleeves, get into the detail, solve the problem. Sometimes the candidates and the students have told us, this is not your problem, the problem is something else. And that is like a aha for everybody, right? So I think it gets you to understand details, perspective, connecting the dots, and that gives them an edge over others when they actually participate in competition. Competitions are only a vehicle of learning, right? The learning is very important. And that's where I would say, yes, it does add a lot of value from an organization and from a candidate perspective also.
I'll give you an example, and Roshni, I'll come to you next before winding up this question and this section. So somebody was asking me in terms of how many competitions should I participate in before getting the final job offer, and my answer was simple, that it might just be one or 10th or 100, I don't know. But what happened for me, let's say if I'm going for a pitch to, let's say, a VC, right, as Dare2Compete. When I go to my first VC, they ask me 10 questions. I know only 3 of them, right? But I make sure that before I go to the next VC, I have answers to all those 10. And then when I go to the next VC, they ask some other 10 questions and only I have answer to 7 of them, right? So it's sort of a learning exercise. It's also a bit of luck, but majorly your hard work will never fail you. Yeah. Okay, so Roshni, coming to you. I mean, what are your thoughts before moving on to the next segment?
I think just 2 liners on this. I have always believed that quality is more important than quantity. So maybe just one participation in a competition can give you all the learning, but you need to make the right choice where you want to participate. You need to make sure how this company who is running this competition is providing those multiple touch points. There are mentors, there are coaches. Like, for example, in Brandstorm, it runs almost for 6 to 8 months. And then you have regional rounds, you have national rounds. Every round, you have the brand managers, digital managers really working with you, supporting you. It's like almost like an extended arm of the organization that you are learning a lot about the entire business model. So pick one if that really helps you, but focus on what the outcome of those learnings are. The quantity does not matter here.
Yeah. And also, I think one other thing that an analysis showed was that many a times people are using this channel to experience. Learn is a separate thing, right? So what they generally do is that, I mean, ideally for me, right, you first fix, let's say, maybe the industry you want to get in, the company and the job profile, right? These are 3 main parameters, right? If you hop on to platforms like Dare2Compete, you get a sense of all the challenges across different segments, across different competitions. You may not be learning, but you might get an experience that, hey, e-commerce or FMCG, which industry should I choose, and probably in which industry, which company should I choose? I think that's an experience, a connect that's also happening.
Yeah, very well.
Okay, awesome. So let's now roll the dice once more and make room for an extra but real quick rapid fire round.
Okay.
My only ask, and I'll be short. I mean, in the interest of time, I have a list of too many questions, but in the interest of time, I'll only ask you two questions to each one of you. You only have to give an answer in less than 20 seconds, just to ensure that we wind up for all of them, right? And we'll start with you, Ram.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, awesome. So your question is, tell me about your dream candidate.
No dreams for us.
What is your company's greatest fear?
To hire people.
Okay. Ganga, coming to you next. The first question is one activity to do while on campus.
Use the safe zone that you are in and develop entrepreneurial capabilities, right? It's going to help you no matter what and what kind of career choice you make.
Awesome. The second question is one thing to avoid during your MBA or engineering journey.
Okay, don't just stick to academics. Do not miss out on opportunities to connect the academic knowledge to the real world context and use cases, and look for contrary evidence to popular hypotheses. That's going to give you ideas which can take you places.
Awesome. Thanks, Ganga. Roshni, coming to you next. The first question is, do past and present academics matter?
Yes, they definitely do. They are the part of the formative stage, but only when you also learn in the same breath how to apply them.
Awesome. And the second question is, if you were a student, how would you rank the importance of the following? Growth, culture, exit options, work-life balance, and money.
Very simple for me. I would put culture at its first place over anything else. And then really comes the growth. For me, money and exit options are all the fallout of the growth. So not too much of an importance on that. And sorry, what is work-life balance? To me, I think it's such a personalized topic and each one has its own preference. I think people should just exercise it the way they want to.
Yeah, I mean, work-life balance is actually subjective. One of the team members, because this is appraisal season, they sort of said that don't give us increment, but give us option to only work from home, and they wanted to work from Goa for the next 1 year.
All the best
Okay,
to that company.
coming to you, Sonal. So the first question is, if you were to hire an animal, what kind of animal would you hire and why? Three qualities of that animal.
So I'm very fascinated by butterflies. And one, they're very agile. Second, they know how to connect the world. And third is they live very short, but they live to the fullest. And they're very pretty. So I really like butterflies.
Awesome, awesome. And the second question is one activity to do while on campus?
Professors' engagement. I don't think we do enough of really inspiring and getting inspired by them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, coming to you next, Suman. Again, the similar question, do past and present academics matter?
I think they do matter, but they're not enough in today's age. They're just not enough.
They're not enough. Okay. And what is your company's greatest fear?
My company's greatest fear would be that, we don't have enough talent supply to meet the talent needs. I think the way we are growing and the unique talent needs that we have, the education sector is not scaling up. That's the fear. So we are investing in our own learning programs, but I think there has to be some very, very fast innovation in that space.
Yeah, that's actually a separate topic for a whole panel discussion itself. What should companies do, right?
Yes.
Okay, Maliga, coming to you. First question is, tell me about your dream candidate.
Somebody who has great entrepreneurial spirit, who moves with a high amount of speed, and who's passionate about what Flipkart is passionate for.
Nice, nice. And the second question, and the last one before we end this panel, one thing to avoid during your MBA and engineering journey.
Complacency. Thinking that because you've landed in a particular campus is going to get you the job. No, what's gotten you here is not going to take you forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for spontaneity and candid responses. Unfortunately, you won't be getting any gift hampers for this rapid fire round. But I think making a mark in the minds and hearts of these students is the prize in itself.
You
This
can send us
brings
coffee,
us to
Ankit.
the end.
You can still send us coffee, Ankit.
Noted, Ram. Noted. All of you will get. Thank you so much, leaders. Once again, thank you so
Thanks
much
a
for
lot.
associating with us and for being with us today. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. Nice meeting you all.
Thank you. The time has now come to reveal the first set of rankings. And for the big reveal, I hand over the dice to some of my team members who have been at it in the making this day possible.
Hi, I am Shivangi Vatsal, Senior Associate Content Strategist at Dare2Compete. Let us kick things off and look at the reveal of the rankings for D2C Top 15 Desirable FMCG Companies 2022, category Premier 10P Schools. Holding strong in 15th position, we have Britannia Industries Limited. Asian Paints has secured the 14th rank. At 13th place, we have Dabur. Making their mark at the 12th rank is L'Oreal. Colgate Palmolive India Limited in at the 11th rank. Next up, we have AB InBev. Reckitt is in at the 9th rank. At 8th, we have Mondelez International. Marico in at the 7th. PepsiCo at 6th. At 5th rank in D2C Top 15 Desirable FMCG Companies 2022 is the Coca-Cola Company. Sliding in at the 4th place is Nestle. ITC Limited comes in at 3rd. In its 2nd rank is Procter & Gamble. Time for the rank 1. Any guesses? In its rank 1 is the formidable Hindustan Unilever Limited. Let's have a look at the summary. Congratulations to all the organizations. Before we pop the bubbly, let me give you another thing to toast. Allow me to reveal the rankings for D2C Top 15 Desirable FMCG Companies 2022, category Premier 30 Schools. Here we go. At the 15th position, we have Tata Consumer Products. Next comes L'Oreal in at the 14th position. Godrej comes in at the 13th position. At 12th place, we have Colgate Palmolive India Limited. Then we have AB InBev. At the 10th position, we have Dabur. Britannia Industries Limited in at the 9th. At 8th, we have Mondelez International. Marico in at the 7th. PepsiCo at 6th. At 5th position, we have Nestle. At 4th, we have the Coca-Cola Company. And at the 3rd rank, we have Procter & Gamble. In its 2nd place is ITC Limited. Ruling the first position in this category as well, we have Hindustan Unilever Limited. Have a look at the summary here. A big congratulations to the teams behind these names. We wish you the very best. With this, I take your leave. Thank you.
campus. I think students are excited to be a part of it, to really understand more, because they have all these memories of many years associated with our brands. At the same time, that's also a challenge for us, because our employer brand can get impacted because of the impact that we have of our consumer brand, and that's really where we focus on. So what we have been doing over the last 2 to 3 years is really shifting the focus on employer brand without impacting anything that we have to our consumer brand. And you would have seen in some of the activations that we have done through your platform and independently on social media, how we really marry both of them together. Now, that has yielded some results, and I think we are quite happy and quite proud with the impact that it has created to enhance our employer brand. As far as learnings are concerned, I think it's difficult to answer. I mean, I think students would just like to eat and enjoy our products. No, I'm just joking. But really, the point is, what are some of those brand building activities that we have done? How have we introduced gamification in our campus selection process? I was listening to the previous conversation on the platform. Gamification is an important tool for us, and students definitely are learning, more about our business, more about entrepreneurial mindset through these gamifications. And there again, our consumer brand plays an important role. So I think that's what we're trying to do as far as marrying our consumer brand and employer brand together.
Right. Well, Salil, all of what you said only made my love for Mondelez grow many folds. Thank you. So now coming to you, Divya, my question is on a similar lines what Salil just answered. So a consumer brand or a house of brand that is famous in the minds of people with their individual product line, brand names, rather than the parent brand. How do you as Marico solve this to increase your visibility as an employer, since you hire as Marico and not for individual brands? What are certain good practices to follow in that case?
Thanks, Ambika. This is a very popular question, and I think a well-asked question. So for us, honestly, we take a lot of pride that we are present in a lot of categories, right? Because it gives you that kind of exposure. But that doesn't mean whatever we do actually links back to the bigger umbrella, which is Marico. Any in terms of our values, in terms of our culture, any brand, any category. End of the day, what they speak, what they go back to is the ethos that Marico really stands for, right? So, for example, we have a huge initiative called Let's Sculpt Rich, where we support our coconut farmers. End of the day, it's what about Marico really stands for. So any brand that you talk about, any category that you talk about, whatever they do, end of the day, it in a way is a reflection of what Marico as an organization stands for. And to us, we really take pride in, because if we just talk about one category, one product, you're only limiting yourself to that product, that category. But moment you talk about Marico as an umbrella, everything is linking back to it. So whether it is employer brand, for example, any initiative that we take, whether it is over the wall, whether we go to campus, we're not really going and talking about just one category. We're talking about Marico, which gives you a humongous experience, humongous countries that we are present in, humongous categories that we are present in, and hence the kind of variety that you can experience if you come and really work with us. So that's like a huge proposition for us, which has really worked for us so far. So yeah, that's my 2 points to this.
Right. That's an interesting line of thought, I must say. Thank you, Divya. So now let's quickly move on to a quick rapid fire round, shall we? I am really excited for this one. So I have 2 questions, each for both of you, and you need to answer them in less than 20 seconds. So let's start with you, Divya. Here it goes. One thing to avoid during your MBA journey.
Very popularly called as, guys, CCP, cut, copy, paste. Be bold, be courageous, just believe in yourself, be original. If you do that, it will take you places.
Okay, the next question is, do past and present academics matter?
Yeah, it does. It in a way is like a baseline for you, but as the earlier panelists said, it will only take you to that level. If you really have to grow in life, there is a lot, many things that you need to do, but past and present will only take you probably to get to this B school, but beyond that, you need to do a lot more.
Yeah, continuous learning is the key here. So Salil, now it's your turn. What is that one life lesson you wish you'd have learned early on in your life?
If I have to go back to my early part of life, and when I look back now, and when I'm interacting with the Gen Zers, I think that the lesson for me would have been YOLO. You only live once. I guess I wish I had known this when I was in college. Carpe diem, the other way to look at it. But yeah, that's what I think I learned a little late. Never too late. happy to have that learning now in life.
Okay, and what is your most cherished college memory?
Oh, it's very difficult to pick one, to be honest. I mean, right from having chai and sutta down, the campus to sitting at the, back benches of every class. But I think the most cherished memory would have been, being in the canteen and chilling out, with friends without thinking about classes too much. So canteen is my cherished memory of my institute.
Right. And that's a wrap. I hope we didn't catch you off guard. Thank you, Salil and Divya, for giving us your valuable time and being with us today. Hope you have a nice day.
Thanks so much, Ambika.
Thank you.
So now it's time to reveal the next set of rankings. Over to you, team.
Hello everyone, I'm Naman Jain, the product guy at D2C. Excited to share with you the ranking for D2C Top 15 Desirable New Age Recruiter 2022. Category Premier 10B School. So, at the 15th position, we have Ola. Navi Finzer comes in next at 14th position. PhonePe is at 13th position. At 12th place, we have Craig. Zomato is at 11th rank. Holding strong at 10th, we have Misho. Udan is at 9th position. Swiggy is at 8th. Naika is at 7th position. And next comes Paytm. At 5th position, we have Microsoft. Google is at 4th position. And at 3rd, we have Myntra. At 2nd, we have Flipkart. And at 1st position, we have Amazon. Let's have a quick recap of all the winners. 3 cheers for making it to the prestigious list of desirable new age recruiters. Next up, we have D2C Top 15 Desirable New Age Recruiter 2022 category Premier 30 B School. At the 15th rank, we have PhonePe. Ola is at 14th rank. Lenskart is at 13th. At 12th, we have Zomato. Next in line is Udan. At 10th position, we have Misho. Red is at 9th position. At rank 8th, we have Microsoft. Swiggy is at 7th position. Paytm is at 6th rank. At number 5, we have Myntra. Google is at 4th position. Let's celebrate Naika at the 3rd position. Flipkart comes in 2nd position. And at 1st, yet again, we have Amazon. Summary is on your screen. Congratulations to all the winners. That was my time on Jan. Thank you.
And I am back. This category is especially close to my heart. It's nice to see a man's dream transpire into a dream this grand. A big congratulations to all the winners. It's now time to call some of them on stage to take the discussion forward. So we have with us Chanchal Dhekne, Deputy Director, Talent Acquisition, Myntra, and Suman Yadav, Director HR, Student Programs, APAC, Amazon. Hi. So my first question is to you, Chanchal. All the top 3 slots in Premier 10B schools went to e-commerce. What's the magic around this segment and how are you leveraging it to your advantage to get the best minds to work for you?
So I think pandemic is to be thanked for this partially. It has accelerated the digital space to such an extent, and consumers have adopted it so much that it has come to the helm of it. And keeping in mind how the area needs to innovate continuously, I think somewhere it resonates with the young minds because disruption is at the top of it. So I think that is something that definitely adds an edge to it. At the same time, I think Gen Z, Gen Y come together in these e-commerce organizations, and just the entire experience and what the outcome is so holistic that I think it just creates magic on its own. So that's my 2 points to it.
Well, being a Gen Z myself, I'm really happy to hear this, that companies are liking us. 3 cheers to you and the whole team at Myntra for all the amazing work you are doing. Coming to you, Suman, last 2 years have seen Amazon as a brand scale and reach new heights across segments and geographies.
And probably this is one of the reasons why Amazon stands tall in our ranking as well. Do you think you being a consumer brand gives you the best advantage over others in this category? What other factors, according to you, play in the minds of prospective employees?
Yeah, I think firstly, I want to congratulate the whole team at Amazon who has worked tirelessly over past 2 years with the change in virtual to virtual mode. There was a lot of innovation required, and I think this speaks to the hard work and to the smart work that the recruiting teams and the branding teams and the business leaders have done to make sure that Amazon, the way it was represented when we would go to campus, it remains same when we do it virtually as well. So there has been a lot of focus and a lot of hard work that has really translated in this award today. So I feel very happy to take this on behalf of the entire team. Answering your specific question, the way we see Amazon for students, it is a place for them to build long-term career and navigate horizontally and explore different kinds of roles, product, program, operations, tech, and various kinds of opportunities in different lines of businesses. So we really have a consumer brand is the face, which is more popular, but then we have AWS, we have video, we have devices, we have corporate, we have consumer, North America teams, we have operations. So there's just so much diversity of roles. So I think one thing that we want to make the students aware of is that Amazon is a place where you can really learn different kinds of skills, and you can really learn different kinds of businesses, and you can do different kinds of roles, and then you can really grow vertically in the stream that you think you are great at and which aligns with your purpose. So that I think is landed well. We also launched Amazon Future Builder program to hire MBA students from B schools. So that has been our endeavor to attract students and give them a curated experience over a period of 32 months. So that also, I think, has played a role. So these are few things that we've done, and we're continuing to innovate. We're continuing to innovate our AFPP program. We're continuing to learn from what the experience first batch of students got after they joined Amazon, and we're continuing to innovate and make it even better. So these are, and there are so many more things that we did on campuses, such as Amazon Campus Connect program, where we went to campuses and really taught students on topics in Amazon language and using Amazon case studies. So I think that has also resonated well. So I believe that there are a variety of things that we did, and some of them have landed very well, and that has translated into this result.
Clearly, students are recognizing all your efforts well. Looks like we can expect a lot from Amazon and Myntra in the coming next years. So let's move on to, the rapid fire round. We'll follow the same drill. 2 questions, 20 seconds. We'll start with you, Suman, first. Free food for life or free travel for life?
Am I audible? I just want to make sure I'm audible. Yeah, it's free travel. I mean, no doubt there. Free travel is any day, going to be my pick.
Yeah, mine too. And what is your most cherished college memory?
I would say break time. I think peer learning happens the most during breaks, and a lot of fun also happens during breaks. So, break time is my, most cherished memory.
Right. So, Chanchal, now your turn. Have you ever had snacks or food secretly during Zoom or team calls? What was it, if you've had?
Of course, I think lines are blurred in the virtual world, so this happens often. It's mostly fruits or some salad, so quick bite.
Okay. And what is your most cherished college memory?
I think it's more of a transition memory, ability to bunk class. So, you can't do that in school, but you can do that in college. So I think that was a fun thing. But yeah, overall, I think college has been fun. School has been fun. Good learning experiences.
Okay. Thank you, Chanchal and Suman, for being with us today. I hope you had a great time with us.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's time to move on to the next set of rankings.
A very good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ritu, the team lead for customer success. Success is a part of my job description. Let's see who else understood the assignment. Presenting to you the D2C top 10 desirable companies that offer general management profiles 2022 according to the B School students. At the 10th position, we have RPG Group. Capgemini comes in next at 9th. At the 8th rank, we have Godrej. General Electric coming in next at 7th. Adani Group at 6th. At the 5th place, we have Amazon. Sliding in at number 4 is Mahindra Group. Aditya Birla Group makes their mark at the 3rd position. And at the 2nd rank is Reliance Industries Limited. At the top of the mountain, that is at rank 1, we have Tata Administrative Services. Let's have a look at the summary on your screens. A big round of applause to all the winners. Let's move on to the next leg of the ceremony.
Oh, hi. You must be wondering where's Ambika. She's giddy with excitement and is busy taking to social media about the awards. So here I am. Do like, share, and comment to celebrate your hard work and also to keep Ambika company. Hi, I am Srishti, the creative director at D2C, and I'm delighted to be here with you today. Now, put your hands together for some of the winners of the category D2C Top 10 Desirable Companies that Offer General Management Profiles 2022. Today we have with us Blossom, Abhinav Lenka from Reliance. Next up, we have Gargi Nayak, Lead Campus Recruitment Careers, Rewards, PMS, and Branding, Aditya Birla Group. Khushbu Jaswal, Recruitment Lead and Employer Branding, TAS, Tata Sons. Welcome, everyone. Excited to be sharing the stage with you today. So here's what's going to go down. I will ask you a question each, and after that, we'll turn up the heat with a rapid fire round. Ready or not? Here we go. First question to you, Abhinav. I would like to start the discussion with you. D2C and Reliance started engaging about 5 years back when Reliance was moving towards becoming a digital company and a true diversified Indian group. Today, where we stand, I see the brand Reliance being looked at not only as a digital company, but also youthful with high energy. What all does it take to change the perception of a company in the minds of the best talent? Abhinav.
Thank you so much. Firstly, I would like to say that the entire thought process behind changing the culture of a company comes from within each and every employee. We try to believe that the employees are the process owners and they inspire us to be a different organization, something different in the future. So I believe rather than talking about frameworks and policies, we strictly believe that it's the people who are the inspiration behind all of this.
Thank you, Abhinav. No truer words have ever been said. Now coming to you, Gargi. First of all, congratulations on being recognized as one of the top general management recruiters by students. You're indeed offering something unique to these budding leaders. Would you like to shed some light on that?
Firstly, thank you, D2C, for being a constant partner in all our social media engagements. And definitely, when we say this, we kind of give credit to our external partners as well as all our businesses who have been absolute strong supporters of the ABGLP cadre, as we call them, Aditya Birla Group Leadership Participants, ABGLPs. Yes, a few things that I would really want to take this opportunity and share is that a wonderful part about being, a participant in a leadership program in a conglomerate is the diversity that you get to experience. So number one is obviously the diversity that we try to give them in the first year itself with 3 different stints, 3 different functions, 3 different locations, 3 different businesses altogether. And every 2-3 years, the focus is very sharp on the first 10 formative years of the, ABGLP cadre. So we ensure that someone who's done retail sales in a store, one fine day moves to, carbon black. And then next you see the person leading something in cement business or Hindalco. So that diversity, I think, is the best part about this program. And we intend to give that rich exposure and experience to all our participants.
Thank you, Gargi. Now, if the word excitement had a definition in the dictionary, this would, I think, be it. Kudos to the entire team. Next up, we have a question for you, Khushbu. Now, Tata Sons has been in the news for quite some time. Air India buyout, Tata New, and these are just some of them that I'm naming here. You seem to be the flavor of the season. Tata has that going for it. And the TAS program, of course, gives the visibility to an incoming MT. Now, how do you ensure that students who join TAS get the best time of their life, both professionally and personally?
Thank you so much for that question. First of all, thank you for the entire award ceremony that you guys are holding and TAS getting rank 1. Thank you all, everyone who voted, and in general, thank you for having me here. And that's a brilliant question. Thank you for using the phrase that Tatas are the flavor of the season. It could not have been put in a more beautiful and apt manner. Answering your question, TAS being the flagship leadership program for the Tata Group, it's a 65-year-old legacy program. So it really allows any MT, or not just an MT, anyone within this ecosystem to really experiment and diversify and be as mobile as possible. So when we talk about development professionally, we would talk about the breadth of opportunities that are placed before you, and that is translated to the distinct sectors that we are present in. When we talk about personal growth, it's basically a culmination of the Tata culture that one is exposed to. It's the strong emphasis that we pay to giving back to the society, apart from the role that you're playing, and the sheer brilliant talent that you're exposed to in your organization and outside. And that really is what unravels one's potential in a very holistic manner. That's through mobility, diverse experiences, and a lot of experimentation through the program.
Thank you for that. I'm sure the students must be having the best times of their lives. So now, thank you for this. And now I'd like to move on to the next section. Heat things up a little. The rapid fire round. I'll ask each of you 2 questions and you need to answer them in 20 seconds, no more. First, I'll start with you, Khushbu. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would that be?
Well, my answer would be a straight India, for sure. Having lived outside India for the early years of my life, I've come to realize that there's no place like home with regards to the food, festival, family. Nothing in the world can beat that. So India is my answer.
We should start a club. I completely agree. Next question. Now, this is a fun one. If you had to eat just one food or dish 3 times a day, what would that be?
That is like the toughest question I have ever come across. Being a foodie, it's not fair to kind of, just choose one. But if I were to just say one, I would say noodles in any form, whether it's ramen, it's Italian spaghetti, or even our Desi Maggi. I think I can have noodles in any form, anytime, anywhere.
You're a woman after my own heart. We should probably connect and probably catch a meal after the ceremony. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, Gargi, you're up next. What would you prefer, work from home or work from office, and why?
Well, to be very honest, work from home was fun. It was definitely fun for initial 6 or 8 months. But trust me, I think I would definitely now work from office is the option that I would opt for. Being an extrovert, I love to be around people. I love to see happy colleagues around, and that's one thing that at ABG, after coming back, we are in full strength since Jan Feb, and I'm very happy. So yeah, work from home was fun, but given a choice, work from office.
Brilliant answer, and I think I completely agree. Next question for you. What is your most cherished college memory?
I think being a part of the theater group was the most cherished memory, the practices and the rehearsals and the extended hours and all of that. So yeah, so the most cherished memory would be all the extracurricular activities that we got to be a part of.
If we had some more time, I would have definitely asked you to showcase some of your skills. Thank you. Moving on to you, Abhinav. If you could travel back in time, what time period would you go to?
That's a tricky one. I would say the time that I visited RCP, that's the Reliance Corporate Park in Mumbai, used to be one of my most cherished memories. That's so humongous. That's like a city on its own. So that experience, I would definitely like to revisit once again.
It's indeed magnificent. Completely agree on that one. Next question. What is your most cherished college memory?
Okay, so there's one particular memory. I think I share it with my creative buddies from our committee Neve. So when we used to be done with our creatives during late night, we used to go have Maggie and a coffee, and that used to quench our entire day, and that's something I believe everyone relates to.
Yeah, I think most college memories are dotted with Maggies and coffees. Brilliant. That was fun. Thank you so much, Abhinav, Gargi, and Khushbu, for your time. It was indeed a pleasure. And now it's time to address the elephant in the room. Sit tight, everyone. The next rankings are about to be revealed. Over to you, team.
Hello everyone, I am Shraddha Bisht, currently working as a program manager here at Dare2Compete. Join me in unveiling the winners of D2C Top 10 Desirable BFSI Companies 2022 category Premier 10 B Schools. Starting with the 10th position, we have Barclays. Axis Bank comes in at 9th. HDFC Bank has secured the 8th position. Avendus Capital Private Limited in at 7th. American Express coming in at 6th. At the 5th rank, we've Deutsche Bank. At the 4th, we have Citibank. Morgan Stanley standing tall at rank 3. In at the 2nd place is JP Morgan Chase & Co. And leading the category, we have Goldman Sachs. And here are all the winners for this category. Moving on to D2C Top 10 Desirable BFSI Companies 2022 category Premier 30 B Schools. Here we go. At rank 10, we have Deutsche Bank. State Bank of India is at 9th. Making their mark next is Axis Bank. Citibank in at the 7th rank. HSBC at 6th. At the 5th position, we have HDFC Bank. Next, we have Morgan Stanley. At the 3rd rank, we have ICICI Bank. At the 2nd, we have JP Morgan Chase & Co. And Goldman Sachs is number 1. Let's have a look at the summary. 3 big cheers for the winners. With this, I take your leave. Have a good day everyone and enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
A very warm welcome, everyone. I am Shivam Bandeja, Head of Sales at Dare2Compete. As an MBA from IIM Kashipur, trust me, being on this side of the stage gives me so much joy. Let me take things forward by calling some of the winners of D2C Top 10 Desirable BFSI Companies 2022 on stage. We have with us today Shomita Bose, Executive Director, Head of India Campus Recruitment, JP Morgan Chase & Company. Anuj Vora from Goldman Sachs. Rati Jaraman, Vice President, American Express. Hi everyone, it's nice to have you here.
Pleasure to be here too. Thank you.
Let's start with you, Shwamita.
Sure.
What do you think are the key considerations that a student should keep in mind while choosing to work in the BFSI sector? What does the BFSI sector offer?
Sure. So first, I want to debunk a myth that banking is for MBA finance students only. There is a career in banking for everyone. In JPMC, say for example, you can do core banking, research, technology, risk, HR, or operations. So JP Morgan, and I'm sure my colleagues in other banks as well, we believe talent is everywhere. So come join us and experience what it is to be a banker.
Wow, great viewpoints, Shwamita. Thank you so much. Anuj, coming to you next. The Dare to Compete Employer Branding Survey shows that the B school students prefer consulting, FMCG, and even e-commerce roles before BFSI. What measures do you take as a company to try and work to change this perception in the long run? Do BFSI companies believe in engaging with candidates as much as FMCG and e-commerce does?
So, I'll say this one: competition is good, and it's good that we are not number one. We know we have some space to cover. So that itself is, I think, so good for the industry. And it's a phase. If you had asked me this question 10 years ago, I think banking and financial services were number one. So there's an ebb and flow, which is also healthy for the industry. But coming to our industry, I'll be honest. The industry as well as our own organization needs to do a deeper and a better job of engaging with this student class, this student cohort. We've in some ways lagged behind the social media change that has happened. The marketing strategies used on social media, I think that's been a place where BFSI, I don't think so, has done a great job. We're learning the ropes fast now, but are we path breakers over there? The answer is no. But having said that, we do provide, and I speak for all my industry colleagues over here, banking provides some of the most complex, challenges, both from a financial as well as societal point of view to solve. Where we need to do a better job is to make those complex challenges easier to understand for a wider variety of folks and break the myth. And as Sonita mentioned earlier, that banking is not only about finance. There is an engineering aspect to it. There's a finance aspect to it. There's an audit aspect to it, and so on and so forth. We've got a whole ecosystem to work with to deliver what we deliver. So a lot to do, and we can do it through engagement, as you rightly said, and demystifying what we do. I think so. We need to move beyond just the brand names. What do the brand names entail in terms of work? I think this is the next frontier for all of us as well as an industry to cover. So I'll pause at that.
Right, Anuj. I surely see these measures working. Thank you so much. My last question is to you, Rathi. In our rankings, the top 5 in Premier 10 B schools are MNCs, and non-Indian companies are not there. While in the Premier 30 B schools, we do have 2 Indian players. Why do you see this pattern in Premier 10 B schools? What edge do you have over Indian players in this market that gives you the best mind share? Is it to do with your origin going as back as 1850s?
Thank you, Shivam, for the question. First of all, I would say the origin of the company is not what matters here. I would say what matters here is the brand and legacy, our workplace environment, our company culture, right? So these are the things which give us an edge over the others. At Amex, we focus a lot on colleague experience right from the onboarding stage. And this imparts our colleagues, our new joiners with the right skill set, which helps them deliver best-in-class analytical solutions. In addition to technical skills, we also focus a lot on developing soft skills such as communication. And communication has different connotations and it spans across different levels. And next up, we also focus on upskilling our individual contributors and then preparing them to take on leadership roles. Throughout, there is a lot of focus on talent management to ensure that we give colleagues a diverse experience so that they can diversify their skill set across functions. We encourage our colleagues to think out of the box and to challenge status quo on a constant basis. we have a diverse and inclusive workplace which encourages colleagues to share their viewpoint, and all of this actually enables, like, makes people feel included.
Wow, pretty insightful. That's a lot happening at MX. Thank you so much, Shomita, Anuj, and Rati, for the wonderful tips, insights. We now end this segment of our discussion and move on to the fun part, the rapid fire round. I'll ask you two questions. You'll get 20 seconds to answer each one of them. Let's start with you, Rati. If you were not pursuing your current profession, what would you choose to become in life?
Probably an academician, because I'm from an economics background. So if not analytics, I would have been an academician.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what would be your most cherished college memory?
It has to be the chai breaks at D school, where you get to discuss everything ranging from politics to movies to economics.
I think everybody misses those chai sutta breaks at college, right? Okay. Now coming to you, Anuj. What advice would you have for yourself if you could go back 20 years in your career?
Read a lot more. Read psychology, read fiction, read anything and everything besides your own coursework. In this day and age, it's just not about your functional and technical expertise. It's your ability to join the dots with other facets and streams, which makes you, makes you or gives you a differential advantage in this society. So read a lot more. I wish I had done a lot more of that earlier.
Well, I think I'm a little bit close to that age. I'll take your advice and start reading a little bit more. Now, coming to my favorite question, what's your most cherished college memory?
I mean, the chai breaks and stuff like that, that's, it'll be common. But if I have to just look back, one more memory, which I'm, grateful that I had, was to work with the placement team, back in the days when I was in college. Just gave me a beautiful insight into hundreds of companies that came into campus, the different cultures, the different ways they recruited, dealt with students. And you could, and today what I do, I think, so if I join back the dots, a lot of the learning, more than my MBA, came from there. So I'm going to make an honest admission on that one.
That's the smile that you see on my face is because I am an ex-place commer. Just left that role a few years back. Great. Thank you so much. Coming to you, Shomita, one thing that you think people should avoid during their MBA journey?
I know it's easier said than done, but don't give in to peer pressure. Know what you want and enjoy the 2 years at a B school or the 4 years at an engineering college. Don't follow the crowd.
Wonderful, wonderful. And again, what's your most cherished college memory?
This is easy. I went to XLRI some 54 years ago, so I still remember the night canteen at Vishudas. Again, Maggie is a prominent player there, and obviously just hanging around under the famous Bodhi tree and just doing all those night outs.
Wonderful. Makes me remember my college days. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time and insights. Hope to see you around soon. Great. Let's keep the ball rolling and make room for the next segment. Take care, everyone. Be safe. Have a blast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nimit, a program manager at D2C. Moving on to one of the most awaited reveals, D2C Top 10 Desirable Consulting Companies 2022. Category Premier 10 B Schools. At the 10th position, we have Alvarez and Marcel. Next up, shining at 9th, is KPMG. At the 8th, we have EY. PricewaterhouseCoopers PwC comes in at 7th. On the 6th, we have Deloitte. Let's celebrate Kearney at the 5th position. Then comes Accenture. Coming in next, we have Bain & Company at the 3rd position. In at the 2nd place is Boston Consulting Group, BCG. And at the very top, we have McKinsey & Company. Let's have a look at the summary on your screen. A big round of applause to all the winners of this category. Next up, we have D2C Top 10 Desirable Consulting Companies 2022, category Premier 30 B Schools. At rank 10, we have Tata Consultancy Services. Kearney comes in next at 9. Next, we have EY. At rank 7 is KPMG. PricewaterhouseCoopers PwC comes in next, followed by Accenture at 5th. Next, we have Deloitte at 4th. McKinsey & Company, BCG, and Bain & Company are standing tall at ranks 1st, 2nd, and 3rd respectively in this category too. Let's look at all the winners. A big congratulations to each and every one of them. That is my cue to make way for the next segment. Take care.
Hi everyone, I'm Urvishi Singhal, Senior Associate Content Strategist at Dare2Compete, and here I am realizing my dream of revealing the D2C Top 25 Dream Companies 2022. Now that the wordplay is out of the way, let's look at who the premier 10 B-schoolers are dreaming of. At patent 25th, we have Avengers Capital Private Limited. Next in line is Kearney. At 23rd position, we have Deloitte. Netflix is at 22nd place, surprising as it prevents us from sleeping and in turn dreaming. The Coca-Cola Company at the refreshing 21st rank. Meta keeping it real at 20th rank. Nestled at 19th place, we have Nestle. At 18th position, we have Aditya Birla Group. Next, we have L'Oreal. Mondelez International comes in at 16th. At 15th, we have Apple. JP Morgan Chase & Co. at 14th, ITC Limited in at the 13th position. At the 12th place, we have Flipkart. Goldman Sachs is at the 11th rank. Holding strong at 10th position, we have Procter & Gamble. Accenture Strategy comes in at 9th. At 8th rank is Microsoft. Tata Administrative Services in at the 7th position. Amazon is at 6th. At 5th position, we have Bain & Company. In at the 4th rank is Hindustan Unilever Limited. And at 3rd, we have McKinsey & Company. And to nobody's surprise, we have the Boston Consulting Group in at the 2nd place. No need to search for who comes in the first place for this one. In at the first position is Google. Moving on to D2C Top 25 Dream Companies 2022 category Premier 30 B-Schools. We open strong with Reliance Industries Limited at the 25th rank. Another Indian's dream is the 24th Dream Company Asian Paints. At 23rd position, we have PricewaterhouseCoopers. Mondelez International is in at the 22nd place. Morgan Stanley at 21st. Nestle is at the 20th rank. At 19th place, we have Tata Steel. At 18th, we have KPMG. Apple is at 17th rank. Coming in next, we have L'Oreal. Holding strong at 15th position, we have Procter & Gamble. Deloitte has secured the 14th rank. At 13th place, we have JP Morgan Chase & Co. Making their mark at 12th rank, ITC Limited. Accenture Strategy in at 11th. Next up, we have Tata Administrative Services. Flipkart in at the 9th rank. Then comes Goldman Sachs at 8th. Microsoft in at the 7th. Bain & Company at the 6th rank. Next in line is Boston Consulting Group. Sliding in at the 4th rank is Amazon. And at the 3rd place, we have Hindustan Unilever Limited. In at the 2nd position is McKinsey & Company. Any guesses on who stands tall at rank 1? Let me end the search in 0.001 second. In at rank 1, we have Google. In the category eSchools D2C Top 15 Dream Companies 2022, at the 15th position, we have Deloitte. Goldman Sachs is at the 14th rank. Meta comes in at the 13th position. At 12th rank, we have Cognizant. Flipkart is at 11th. Coming in next, we have Apple. Capgemini in at the 9th position. At 8th rank, we have IBM. Accenture in at the 7th. Wipro Technologies is at the 6th position. Then comes Infosys at 5th. At the 4th rank is Tata Consultancy Services. And at the 3rd, we have Microsoft. In at the 2nd place is Amazon. At 1st position, clearly the dream of every student, we have Google. Let's have a quick look at all the rankings of D2C Dream Companies 2022. Congratulations to all the winners.
Hello everyone, I'm Himanshu Sadhwani. I'm a senior program manager at D2C and I'm excited to be with you all here today. Before I reveal the next category and its rankings, I want to thank each member of every talent acquisition team for impacting so many careers and lives by means of exciting and well thought through challenges. Students have noticed all your efforts and have made you a part of D2C prestigious B School Competitions 2022 category All B Schools. Presenting the top 20 in alphabetical order: Airtel iCreate 2021, Asian Paints Canvas 2021, Bond with Pidilite, Godrej Loud Season 10, Hero Campus Challenge Season 7, Mondelez Maestros, Myntra Stylebase 2021 The B School Challenge, Optum Stratathon Season 3, Tata Steel Steelathon 2021, TVS Credit Epic Challenge. Now, coming to the top 10 D2C prestigious B School Competitions 2022 category All B Schools. Holding strong at the 10th position, we have L'Oreal Sustainability Challenge 2021. Reliance TUP 7.0 in at the 9th position. At 8th rank, we have Accenture B School Challenge Season 5. Google Case Challenge 2021 comes in next at 7th position. L'Oreal Brandstorm 2022 at the 6th position. Then we have KPMG Ideation Challenge 2022. At the 4th rank, we have Tata Imagination Challenge 2021. Coming in next, we have HUL Line Season 30. Let's celebrate Amazon Customer Excellence Challenge 2021 at the 2nd rank. At the 1st position, claiming their throne is Flipkart Wired 5.0. Let's have a quick look at the summary on your screens. Moving on to D2C prestigious B School Competitions 2022 category Popular 10 B Schools. Top 20 again in alphabetical order. Airtel iCreate 2021, Amazon Advertising Smart Challenge, Bajaj Finserv Atom CEOs Challenge, Bond with Pidilite, GSK eCube Engaging and Exciting Minds for Excellence 2021, KPMG Ideation Challenge 2022, L'Oreal Sustainability Challenge 2021, Mahindra Rise Challenge, Marico Over the Wall Season 9, Mondelez Maestros, Myntra Stylebase 2021 The B School Challenge, Optum Stratathon Season 3, PNG CEO Challenge 2022, Vedanta Extract. And the top 10 rankers in the category are Reckitt Global Challenge 2021 at the 10th position, Reliance TUP 7.0 in at 9th rank. At 8th, we have L'Oreal Brandstorm 2022. Google Case Challenge 2021 comes in next. Asian Paints Canvas 2021 at the 6th position. At 5th, we have HUL Lime Season 13. Sliding in next is Accenture B School Challenge Season 5. And at the 3rd rank, we have Tata Imagination Challenge 2021. In at the 2nd position, we have Flipkart Wired 5.0. In at rank 1 of D2C prestigious B School Competitions 2022, we have Amazon Customer Excellence Challenge 2021. The summary is on your screens. Do shower your love on the winners with a big round of applause and a quick congratulations on LinkedIn.
Hi everybody, I'm Bhavika, Program Manager at D2C, and I am here today to reveal the ranking for top 20 D2C prestigious eSchool competitions 2022. Here are the top 20 in alphabetical order. American Express Code Street 21, Bosch AI Hackathon, Hero Campus Challenge Season 7, Microsoft BIAL Genie Hackathon, Microsoft Imagine Cup 2022, Myntra HackerRank 2021, Reliance Quizathon 6.0, Tata Crucible Hackathon 2021, TVS Credit Epic Challenge, Uber Hacktat 2.0. And now it's time for the top 10. At the 10th rank, we have IBM Z Student Contest, Microsoft Hackathon Azure for Inclusion in at the 9th position. Coming in next, we have IBM Hack Challenge 2021, TCS Code Vita in at the 7th position. Capgemini Tech Challenge 2021 is at 6th. At the 5th position, we have Google Hash Code. Flipkart Grid 3.0 comes in at the 4th position. At 3rd, we have Infosys Hack with Infi. In at the 2nd rank is Accenture Strategy Connect. On the very top, we have Google Code Jam. Here is a summary of the category winners. Wishing the best to all the winners.
Hi everyone, I'm Tushar Mehta, Director Client Engagement at Dare2Compete. Let me begin by congratulating winners for working hard towards establishing their employer brand. Let's deep dive into this with some of the winners. May I please have on stage Sumit Premi, Associate Director, Talent Acquisition and Head University Relations, Flipkart. Sumit, you must be tired after topping charts of D2C prestigious competitions with both Flipkart Grid and Wired. Just kidding. Kudos to your team. Yogja Singh, Senior Director, Human Resources and Campus Recruitment Leader for KPMG in India. Then we have Shweta Mhatre, Campus Lead, Laurel India, a client come friend to be honest. And then joining us today is Khushbu Jaiswal, Recruitment Lead and Employer Branding, Tata Administrative Services. Khushbu has been a delight to work with throughout the different engagements we did with Tata Administrative Services. Welcome everyone on the panel. Let's start with you, Sumit. Startups and new age companies are mushrooming with their high energy competitions. How do you ensure that they take up a game notch higher every time and attract students towards your engagement and activities?
Sure. Thanks for the question, and pleasant surprise for me. And looking at the rankings, I was not aware. So thank you for that. So to answer your question, right? See, one line answer would be continuous feedback. So how we operate is every year is a fresh start for us. So we go back to the drawing board. We look at and deep dive into the feedback we receive at all the stages of our competition, right? And to add on to that, what we do is we bring in all the students who we hired through competitions just to understand, are we doing the right thing or we need to change the track. So that is how the list of start, stop, continue comes into play every year. And that's how we continue to do that.
No wonder you are acing this game through and through. Thank you, Sumit. Coming to you, Yogja. KPMG Ideation Challenge is the latest example of how KPMG is investing $5 billion in technology, talent, and innovation over the next 5 years. How do you think KPMG Ideation Challenge is helping in enhancing its leadership position in the digital transformation of professional services?
Thank you, Tushar, and always very happy to share this platform with a favorite ex-colleague of mine. Always happy to have him here. That's Sumit Premi. In terms of the KPMG Ideation Challenge, the challenge is actually focused on tapping talent from the student community to address real-world problems that KPMG would solve for clients in the digital space using advanced technologies. And this is a challenge that actually gives students insight and which is for a duration of at least 4 to 6 months to understand consulting, interact with KPMG professionals, work with very, very cool folks at KPMG, right from our data scientists to our risk analysts to our business consultants, understand how they would approach a problem, what is the lens that KPMG would take, and what is the cutting edge work that KPMG is doing. And from that perspective, they also determine whether KPMG is going to be a place for them for using and pursuing a career in advanced technologies. So that has really, transformed for us via the KPMG Ideation Challenge, and we hope to continue this spree.
A lot has been cooking at KPMG, it seems. Kudos to you and the whole team. Thank you, Yogja. My next question is for you, Shweta. But before I ask my question, congratulations on embarking on the 30th season of L'Oreal Brandstorm. What role do you think L'Oreal Brandstorm has played in fulfilling L'Oreal's key goal like innovation and sustainability? Also, can you shed some light on the ROI of Brandstorm and other campus engagement properties?
Thank you, Tushar. First of all, I must say it's truly exciting for me to be leading the campus mandate for L'Oreal when a Brandstorm like competition is in its 30th year. I think Brandstorm has been synonymous with innovation since its very inception. But over the last couple of years, the competition has pivoted towards the direction in which the whole L'Oreal group is actually headed. While innovation in our functions, divisions, etc., has been the central theme, in the last couple of years, we've also started focusing on some of our key tenets like sustainability. This year, as you know, we are celebrating our 30th anniversary, and students have an option of innovating along the lines of any of the tracks of their choice, one of which is sustainability. Right. So, with that, as well as sustainability challenge, I think we've really encouraged students from both B schools and E schools to think for long term sustainable innovations. And honestly, who better than all the bright young minds on campus to really give us solutions that are sustainable, innovative, and can also be implemented globally. And your question on ROI, I think everyone here on the call can agree that ROI can be looked at from two lenses. One is, of course, from the campus end, and the second is, of course, from the company's end. I think from the campus end, it's definitely about how are we attractive on campus, our competitions, properties, hiring, all of that. The mindshare of students that we also capture, which possibly could also translate into applications for competitions, internships, etc. Organization front, of course, how many people are we hiring? Are they going to be future leaders in the organization? Also, is this an effective method as opposed to traditional sources like internship and management trainee program? So for me, that would be an important metric to look at.
Does the innovative solution they present get implemented in the organization? Like
For
ensure that
Brandstorm,
that is
for Brandstorm, yes, we partner with Station F in Paris, where they get to actually work with innovators and entrepreneurs and really see whether and if their activations can actually come to life and work on long-term projects with them. So yes.
I'm sure that might be helpful as well. Great, Shweta. I see Brandstorm celebrating 40, 50, and even 100 years for sure.
With you.
Definitely. Coming to you, Kushbu. Tata Imagination Challenge was a true success story this year, with 85,000 plus students from all over the India in it. I want to know what were the apprehension you have in mind when you thought of opening the challenge for all domains across campuses? How do you tackle the challenges?
Thank you so much for the question. Thank you so much for having me here. Answering your question, I think going back 2 years, we realized with the pandemic hitting all of us, we saw several companies entering the competition space, big or small, everyone wanted to, make the most of this space. And therefore, we knew that the competition will be 10x or 100x undoubtedly. But more than external, we realized that there was an internal battle. We wanted to do better than we did last time. With a brilliant team on board, we shifted our mindset to a very crucial foundation, which is inclusion. That is why we opened it to all of the students across all disciplines, all institutions, all backgrounds. This also includes our Tata employees. So our foundation is inclusion. And our objective was absolutely clear that we wanted an open space where everyone and anyone felt like they were valued and their ideas were valued. And in a way, I think we were able to kind of prove that and give that acknowledgement to everyone who participated. And I think that is how we kind of, went past our apprehensions. Personally, it was a brilliant experience for me because last year I was participating in the competition as a student. And this year I got to lead operations for TIC at such a humongous scale. I think this was a dream come true for me. And I think the entire team did brilliant along with the D2C team. So that's how we went about it.
Thank you so much. Indeed, a success story every talent acquisition team must listen to. Thank you so much, everyone. We end this segment and move on to the rapid fire round. I'll ask each one of you 2 questions, and you will have to give the answers to those questions really quick. Let's begin. We'll start with you, Kushbu. What was the most memorable thing you bought with your first salary?
So with my internship stipend that I bought small gifts for all of my family members. But with my first full-time salary that I got from my recent job, which is my current job, I bought a tarnished diamond ring, which was kind of like a loop because I got salary from the Tatas and I went back and I gave the money back to them and got a Spanish diamond ring. So that was what I bought with my first salary. Yeah.
Great. What is the most cherished college memory? I'm sure you might have a lot of them because you recently graduated. But yeah, maybe if you want to mention one of them.
It's I think so. It's the toughest question to ask, choosing just one memory. But since it's very recent, I'll say just making all of these friends, networking, getting your final placement that you work so hard for, and also being part of the placement committee was a highlight for me. So all of this was a huge part of my college life.
Great to hear that. Shweta, would you like to go next?
Same question.
No, I'll ask another question. What is that one life lesson you wish you would have learned early in life?
I think very philosophical answer, but I think it's that no one's really perfect. It's about trying to be better at your job, better as a person day on day, and not really just keep brooding over what has happened.
Nice, perfect answer. What is the most cherished college memory?
So I've been hearing everyone's stories all day, and of course I can relate to all of them. For me, it definitely was all that last minute cramming, whether it was, B school competitions, college fests, exams, all those cramming, late night cramming sessions with batchmates, roommates, and all those endless cups of coffee. I think that is something that I truly miss now that I'm a working professional.
Great to know that. Yogja, your turn. What did you want to become when you were a kid? Don't say
I think
singer.
I wish I had that aspiration, but my family would not have supported knowing my singing skills. They didn't want everybody in the world to be tortured. But I think I do have a cliched answer, but it was very close to my heart. I wanted to become a doctor, possibly a neurosurgeon. Yeah.
But I definitely love your voice, and I guess I've already mentioned that a lot of times, but I wanted to mention it publicly. Our standard most favorite question: what is your most cherished college memory?
I think my most cherished college memory is really, sitting just a day before the exam and realizing that there's just so much to cover. But then they were always dependable friends, giving you crashers in the library and making sure that you were all set for the exam. And I think they always had your back.
I can truly relate to that. All of us used to open the books 10 days before the exams, or maybe 20 days. Thank you. Sumit, you won't be spared. So, one life mantra which you apply every day.
See, for me, it is you always have a choice. So that's how I lead my everyday with.
All right. So choice is the mantra.
Yes.
What is your most cherished college memory?
See, for me, I think it is the goof ups which we used to do. I go back, I'll share a small anecdote, right? In my engineering days, we were playing table tennis till 5 in the morning. So we relied on one of the friends to make that chits, right? Parchees. The students over here should not follow me, but then when we entered the room for our internal exam, we realized he made the chits for a wrong subject. So we still laugh about it every time I meet my engineering friends. So it is about the goof ups which we used to do. That would be my cherished memory.
Great. Yeah, that's amazing. I must say, I couldn't have imagined a better set of responses to these questions. It was fun. Thank you, everyone. With this, I'm at the end of this segment and leave you in the very capable hands of my team. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tushar.
Hello, everyone. Hope you are having a good time today. I am Shubham Garg and I handle communications at Dare2Compete. I wish I could interact and engage with you in person. When life gives you lemon, you leverage the power of internet. Let me quickly take you through D2C Competitive B School Leaders 2022. I hope I do justice to your beautiful names. And here we go. Surbhi Bhuwan, Paulami Dubedi, Varun Maheshwari from IIFT have bagged 30th, 29th and 28th positions respectively. Coming in next, we have two students from IIM Bangalore, Madhusudan Changani at rank 27 and Umesh Gavle at 26. At 25, we have Aritra Paul from XIMB Bhubaneswar. At number 24, Vipin Dhonkaria from IIM Shillong. Roshan Kumar Biswal from IIM Kashipur is at 23rd rank. Two more students from IIM Kashipur are next in line. Pulkit Singhal at number 22nd and Saswat Chaudhary at 21st. Next is Gandhi Nisarg Setu from FMS Delhi. At 19th place, we have Swastik Prabhu from IIM Bangalore. Abhishek Mittal from IIM Kozhikode is at 18th position. Saurav Mani from FMS Delhi is at 17th. Aditi Agarwal from FMS Delhi at 16th. At the 15th position, we have Nikhil Vallabhapuram from SCMHRD Pune. Next up, we have Pratyush Goyal from IIM Bangalore. Dikshant Pagar from SCMHRD Pune in at the 13th position. At the 12th place, we have Ayush Chaube from IIFT. Aditya Modi from SCMHRD Pune slides in next. Holding strong at 10th position, we have Alpana Singh from DMS IIT Delhi. Love Garg from IIM Kozhikode in at the 9th position. At 8th place is Prateek Saman from SCMHRD Pune. Adarsh Nain from DMS IIT Delhi in at the 7th position. Krishna Wadhwa from IIM Bangalore at 6th. At 5th position, we have Monish Gadia from SCMHRD Pune. At 4th ranking is Rahul Agarwal from IIMI New Delhi. Coming in at the 3rd rank, we have Arko Datta from IIM Shillong. At 2nd place is Nirmalya Pratim Das from SCMHRD Pune. And at the 1st position in the B School category, we have Aritro Datta from IIM Shillong. Congratulations to all the leaders on making their mark. Moving on to D2C Competitive eSchool Leaders 2022. Holding strong at 5th position, we have Rajveer Pandya from JIIT Noida. At 4th rank, we have two leaders, Sagnik Sarkar and Srinjoy Das from Jadavpur University, Kolkata. And at the 3rd rank, again we have two leaders, Ankit Hans and Aryaman Pandey from SRMIST Kathankulatar, Chennai. In at the 2nd rank is Jait Saha from VIT Vellore. At 1st position, VIT Vellore represents. We have Kinshuk Dua from VIT Vellore. Congratulations to all the leaders from the eSchool category. Your day has come and you will bring in a better tomorrow for all of us. On this note, I hand over the reins for the next segment. Stay safe and take care.
Thank you, Shubham. And thank you everyone for your time. A year in the making, and here we finally end. Kudos to each and every one who is behind every star or vote that helped curate these rankings. Keep up the brilliant work, and maybe we continue to push the envelope. And as someone said, the show must go on. This one is ending, but the preparation for 2023 is already underway. But before we end, I have a list of people who worked behind the scenes to sort of make today possible. I'll start with the whole design conceptualization piece. We have design and creative team led by Shrishti, Abhishek, Hitesh, Vaibhav, Pradeep, and Harsha, and Deepika, who worked on all the collaterals. We have the PM team, the program manager team, and the customer success team who worked on each and every nomination that we got and sort of approved them with 100% accuracy. We have Himanshu, Tushar, Neerav, Shaurya, Bhavika, Shraddha, Nimit, Ritu, and Paras who worked on it day in and day out. Then we have the marketing team that made Dare2Compete what it is today on the social media and the other channels. The team is led by Ambika and has Dinesh, Shubham, Shraddha, Urvashi, Shivangi, who added the whole content and the marketing to it. Then we have Tushar and Shivam, who basically ensure that we have the good number of panelists to discuss these topics. And finally, we have the events team, who made what today is possible. We have Jujhar and Paranjay. And how can I end without thanking the technology team and the product managers? All the rankings are live on our website and social media, and I hope we continue to ignite the spirit of competitiveness. And through the tech team, Naman, Navjot, Lalit, and the whole team that worked behind this. With this, I would like to draw the curtains to Dare to Compete Awards 2022. Godspeed.